Hello, Patreon friends. Let's take a look at this. This is the Target here. This is a very old kind of compound in Mount Sinai. This is what it looks like on the inside. Some parts of it where they have the gardens. Here. In this area right here. Pretty beautiful. I'd love to go there. Of course, I'm blind to the target. It is, I'm looking for a specific part of my brain here, but watch this. Boom, right there. Right here. So let me mark that time. Oop, right there. Okay. So this is 59 seconds. Let me just mark this time. All right. So it's about. So there's about 5 seconds of preparation. Right there. At 58 seconds, so minus 5, so 53 seconds. Within 53 seconds, the perception reaches my outer awareness. 53 seconds from the point of commitment. I'll say commitment because, well, right here. This is preparation, turning the camera on, turn on the volume, testing the video, making sure I'm in front of the camera. So I'd say at about 7 seconds is commitment time. 58 seconds is when perception then comes above the threshold of my awareness, and an actual perception is then perceivable to my conscious awareness. So I'd say 50 seconds. All right, I'm going to keep that in mind. 50 seconds. Now I'm going to try to render it. I'm going to try and see if there's anything coming through here. And there's really nothing extra. So this is it. It's a structure. There is a garden element area in here where there are like plants and stuff growing around, and that is here. Right here, they have that here, like this. That's a pretty good image of it. Here. Okay. So, but getting the target isn't the thing that's interesting. The interesting thing is this period of time here, between about right here, 7 to 8 seconds to 58 seconds. Right there, boom, at 58 seconds. So what might be taking place here? Here again is the definition of stereognosis: the ability to perceive and receive the ability to perceive and recognize the form of an object in the absence of visual and auditory information, by using tactile information to provide cues from texture, size, spatial properties, temperatures, etc. That is stereognosis. Another area of the brain here that is important to this factor is the dorsal column medial lemniscus pathway. Sensory pathway of the central nervous system that conveys sensory sensations of fine touch, vibration, two-point discrimination, and proprioception from the skin and joints. But this is a pathway here. That's a pathway along the central nervous system. But these things are, again, the receiver element, or the sender-receiver elements. What I'm looking at more closely is the autonomic, the automatic, coming from the medulla oblongata, autonomic involuntary functions, and also the reflex or reflex action elements of the brain. Is an involuntary, unplanned sequence of action and nearly instantaneous movement in response to a stimulus. That's very interesting. But again, let me just focus on something here. Nearly instantaneous movement in response to a stimulus. The autonomic nervous system. Autonomic, meaning it's happening automatically, but this primarily right here. Nearly instantaneous movement in response to a stimulus. In my opinion, remote viewing is a reflex. This process is a reflex. What I'm experiencing right here is a reflex to a stimulus. But like the definition says, and I agree with this definition, a nearly instantaneous movement. Instantaneous. So what is happening here? We have a span of about 50 seconds. That in this exercise, it is taking for me to recognize the reflex. So for 50 seconds, my brain is processing this information. So somewhere in my brainstem, I hypothesize, it's my opinion, somewhere in my brainstem there are some neural mass, some cellular formation that acts, as I call, a selector mechanism and an attractor mechanism that causes the reflex, the stimulus here. So again, somewhere in my brainstem, midbrain, an attractor selector mechanism. Attractor meaning it produces the reflex. Selector meaning it is able to find this location, this range of time and space. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by that. Selector mechanism means, to me, in my personal definition, selector mechanism means being able to somehow recognize that this is the range of time and space that I want to attract. The attraction element then produces the automatic response, the reflex. In my opinion, this is all happening, in my opinion, that is all happening right there, right as I begin, right as I commit, right here. That boom is right there, automatically, in my opinion, automatically. But an additional 50 seconds goes by before I become aware of it. Let me see if I can find this here now. The difference between a conscious and an unconscious, if I can find that now. I don't know if I can find it. But there are elements here of processes taking place that are conscious and unconscious. I can't find them. I don't know where it was. But this is where the activity became conscious. But for 50 seconds it was taking place here and it was unconscious. But in my opinion, it happened within the first second and took an extra 49 seconds for me to become aware of it. In this particular exercise. Every exercise is different. It could take the instantaneous 1 second. It could take 40 seconds, 50 seconds. It could take sometimes 30 minutes, depending on the situation or the circumstance and the environment and every other factor. But in this particular circumstance, I can time that it took 50 seconds for that stimulus to hit my conscious awareness. So that's interesting to me. But what I'm after is the access point, or like I mentioned, because I've been researching this and putting these videos out for many, many years. And the access point has always been a major interest. But I'm changing the name or the way that I think about it from access point, meaning where the part of the brain where the actual stimulus first illuminates. I'm changing the terminology of that to attractor mechanism and selector mechanism because there's processes taking place in there. There's an attractor and a selector. So that's what this is about. The work continues on and on. Many, many more to come. And hopefully, the best is yet to come. And I do believe that that is the case. The best is yet to come. So I hope you're having a great day. And we'll see you again real soon.